2023's The Super Mario Bros. Movie is finally available in theaters. And before I get into any of that, I just wanted to address real quick, I'm sure you just heard that with my voice. I'm not feeling the greatest. It's springtime, so my allergies are starting to act up. I just took some allergy medicine, so hopefully it gets a little bit better the further through this video I go. But for the next few videos or so, it's probably going to sound a little bit like this.
Hi, how are you?
But on to Mario, let's talk about the plot. In this film, we follow Mario, of course, and he is traveling through the Mushroom Kingdom along with Princess Peach and Toad to find Mario's brother Luigi and save the world from the evil Bowser. In the voice cast, of course, we have Chris Pratt playing Mario. We also have Charlie Day as his brother Luigi. As Princess Peach, we have Anya Taylor-Joy. As Toad, we have Keegan-Michael Key. As Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong, we have Seth Rogen and Fred Armisen. We have Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek and Carrie Payton as Penguin King. And to save the best for last, we have Jack Black as Bowser. Before I get into the review, I just wanted to say this. I am not a Super Mario super fan. I don't know everything about Mario. I don't know all the characters, all the places, all the games. That being said, I do have some experience with the game. So seeing the trailers for the film, I saw things like Rainbow Road in there. I grew up playing Mario Kart on the Wii, so I was very much familiar with Rainbow Road. Fucking hate Rainbow Road. But to officially get into the review, let's start with the positive here because, you know, it's always good to start on a positive note. First thing I gotta say is the animation. The animation in here is so fun, so vibrant, brings so much energy to the film. Along with that, I really like the voice acting in this movie. I think Jack Black, of course, was the biggest standout as Bowser. He was pretty much unrecognizable as Bowser.
Do you yield? I do not.
Another great voice actor in here is Charlie Day as Luigi. I really like Charlie Day. I think he's hilarious. I think his voice perfectly matched the character of Luigi.
You just got Luigi.
When it comes to Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, I like him for the most part. I know I'm getting a little negative here when I'm in the positives, but with his character, his voice is so pitched up.
Trying to clear a path, that's all I'm doing. He's gonna be fine.
To the point where it feels like they could have casted anybody and it probably would have had the same effect. Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, her character definitely holds her own. She's not the damsel in distress in this, which might bother some people, but for me, I think is a nice turn of the tables.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
But okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Chris Pratt as Mario. They do the Italian accent with Mario and Luigi in the very beginning of the movie when you see a promotional video for their plumbing business. Not a huge spoiler because they released a clip of that on YouTube. That is the only time they do the Italian accent. They do have some of the quips that Mario usually says, like Yahoo and all that. Wahoo! But for the most part, he is doing just a Brooklyn accent. And it's not even really a heavy Brooklyn accent. It's just kind of a slight Brooklyn accent.
Okay, so these bricks are just floating here?
He doesn't really sound like Chris Pratt in the movie. I buy him as Mario, to be honest. That's really not something I was expecting. Voice matched the character. Same with Luigi, like I said before. I think a lot of the voice acting in this movie really did work for me. Last thing in the positives I want to mention that can almost double as a negative is the nostalgia factor. You're going to have the little Easter eggs for people who have played the games and remember stuff from their childhood. For me, it was the Rainbow Road scene. That was the big thing for me in the movie. Like I said before, I really have only played Mario Kart for the Wii. That's the most experience I have with Mario, so automatically that's the thing that I would gravitate towards the most. Let's get into the negatives. Okay, I'll never do that again. First thing I'll mention with the negatives is going back to the voice cast. As I was saying before with the whole Keegan-Michael Key thing, not discrediting him whatsoever as an actor, a voice actor, a comedian, a person even, but I do feel like he could have been replaced with a voice actor who could have done a closer impression of Toad with less editing, because honestly there's so many talented voice actors out there who could have done a very close impression of Toad, if not spot on to what we got in this movie. And the fact those people don't get the bigger roles makes me kind of sad. But still, much love to Keegan-Michael Key. I think he is a hilarious comedian. I think he's a great actor, great person. No shade towards him whatsoever. Another negative I have is the pacing. The pacing is way too quick. It's about an hour and 30 minutes. And in that time, they rarely take time to slow down, focus on the place that they're at or the characters they're following. There's really only one scene that I can remember in the film where the characters really took a moment to just sit and talk. Aside from that, it's just go, go, go the entire time. And I know it's a kid's movie. Kids don't have the longest attention spans, but I don't think that's necessarily a defense for this film, because I've seen some great animated movies made for kids from Illumination alone that hooked me in more than this movie did with the characters. Saying this right now for the record, Sing 1, Sing 2, love both of those movies. At the end of the day, when it comes to the pacing with the story itself, they focus less on the story and more on the nostalgia and Easter eggs, which if you're a fan of Mario, you're probably going to love that stuff in this movie. But for me personally, I need a little bit more to latch onto than that. Got 2 more negatives left, and then I'm going to rank the movie. Starting with the first one, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. As you probably guessed, he's basically just doing the Seth Rogen voice, as always.
Ah! You got the cat box! Oh my... I'm sorry. Okay.
Now you die.
You know, it works, I guess. That's maybe even what the studio wanted from him, but I feel like there was room for him to play around with it a little bit more. Out of all the characters in the movie, he is the one where I can only see the actor, I don't see the character. And the last negative I have is one simple word: underwhelming. I was underwhelmed by this film. They were doing so much, yet so little at the same time. Like I was saying, they were so heavy-handed on the nostalgia and the Easter eggs that they didn't take as much time to focus on the story. Even while I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, this is a very by-the-numbers type of movie. It does feel a little bit like you're playing a game of Mario. Feels like it has the story arc of a Mario game, which is kind of cool. But in execution, on the big screen, in movie form, it didn't quite work for me as much as it might for other people. At the end of the day, I think this is nearly a perfect video game film. That's not necessarily to say it's a perfect film. So when it comes to my ranking, the Super Mario Bros. Movie from 2023 is a discounted ticket. There's definitely fun to be had with this movie. I think kids are going to eat this movie up. Adults who have nostalgia for Mario will have fun with this film. Any Mario fan in general will most likely have fun with this movie. But for me, being the guy who's played maybe 2 Mario games and owns a Mario shirt, it's okay, in my opinion. But those were just my opinions. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. Have you seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie? What did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you in the middle? Have you not seen it? Are you planning on watching it anytime soon? Why or why not? Comment that down below as well. Really, any comments you have for me, I'd love hearing from you. I respond to as much as I can. But do me a favor and leave a like on this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and I will see you in the next one.
I typed your symptoms into the thing up here, and it says you could have network connectivity problems.